coaster with this, and it includes sport as well. But that's all of life, really, isn't it? A journey of highs and lows and roller coasters of life. Well, you might remember the name Steve Woods. He's the Channel Islands bench press record at one time. He won the Channel Islands bodybuilding and powerlifting championships, and after retiring from competitive lifting due to injuries and health issues, also have mental health issues there too. But in the last few years, he's found a new passion with martial arts, specifically Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He won his 10th gold medal in a UK competition recently, and I sat down with him to find out his story.
Well, it all started out, I was competing in bodybuilding. So that's where, you're trying to put on as much muscle as possible and trying to be as lean as possible for show days. So then I moved into powerlifting, where it was all about pure strength. And I had some success in both of these. I won a few competitions, but unfortunately, after a while, the injuries sort of caught up with me, and I had to step away from competitive lifting. And honestly, mate, I just felt really lost after that. I could still go to the gym and train and stay fit, but and I still do now, but I've always needed a goal, like something to aim for. I've always been like that with sports or hobbies. I get obsessed and I need something to work towards. I never paid much attention at school, but anything physical, I was all over it. And then without that goal, I was just drifting. I didn't feel like myself. I wasn't motivated. I just needed something to challenge me again, just something to pull myself into, like in a positive way. And that's when I found jiu-jitsu, and it completely changed the direction I was heading, luckily.
I can imagine with the jiu-jitsu, because I've been reading up about your medal wins as well for it, but not just sort of like physically this day, but like mentally. How has Brazilian jiu-jitsu helped you as a person as well?
Oh, it's given me so much, mate. It's the thing with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is I was never, because when I was training for strength and that, I was a big guy, I carried around a lot of muscle and stuff. But when it came to martial arts and stuff like that, I'd always been a bit, I'm not getting involved in all that. I'm not that sort of person. But so it was quite daunting to start with, but just the benefits it's given me, just confidence and it's really helped. It's really helped me, like, to be part of something, especially when I really needed it. And just having that structure and discipline and better health, both physically and mentally. It's just, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just has that power to help so many people, especially, like I say, those struggling with anxiety or low self-esteem, anything like that. It's just a wonderful, wonderful martial art.
Something I was thinking there, Steve, while you were sharing your story, and thanks for that as well, is when it comes down to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu itself, is there a community around the sport as well for this? Yeah,
there is, yeah. So, we're lucky in Guernsey. We've got a couple of clubs over here which are really good. We've got the Gracie Barra guys, which are an excellent club. They've been going for years. They're more sort of like the sporty side of BJJ. And then you've got Sanya Jiu-Jitsu, where I train, and that's sort of geared more towards self-defense, which I was drawn towards, which again has really helped me with the confidence and just Sanya, just the people there, and I mean I can go into it about my first lesson and everything there, but yeah, just Sanya Jiu-Jitsu, just something about the people. And Adrian Harbour, the teacher. He's an incredible teacher and he's become a good friend. And it's just the culture he's created there is just, it's just a wonderful, wonderful club to be a part of.
I'll be finding out more about Steve's story as well in about 5 minutes' time, including what that first day was like for him going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu too. This is CeeLo Green. And I'm sport at there too. Elsewhere as well, just elsewhere in the football as well, I was telling you, once held the Channel Islands bench press record, won the Channel Islands bodybuilding, and 83 minutes gone, Celtic still leading by 1-0. So looking forward to seeing how that one is going to be panning out today. Now, a little bit earlier on, I was telling you about the story of Steve Wood, who once held the Channel Islands bench press record, won the Channel Islands bodybuilding and powerlifting, but due to injuries had to retire competitively from lifting. And after that, he found a new passion when he started to drift. That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a type of martial art. He's recently come back with a 10th gold medal from a UK competition. I had a chat with Steve about what it was like on that first day of heading into Sarnian Jiu-Jitsu.
It's not really embarrassing, really, but I was so I looked online because a couple of friends had started doing jiu-jitsu, and they said how well they were getting on and how much they were enjoying it. So I went online and I typed it in and I saw the different clubs and I looked at Sarnia, and this appealed to me more. And so I emailed Adrian, and he sort of fired back and was like, "Look, this is where we train. These are the times, and come on down." So I remember because we do it at the training room down at Cobo there at the hotel, and I just remember, I remember being sat in my car, and I was so nervous. I didn't want to get out of my car. I remember just being sat in there thinking, right, I'm just about to drive home any second. But luckily, I sort of managed to get out of the car, walk through the door, and yeah, like I say, everybody but they were so welcoming. From the moment I walked through the door, I was met with a great welcome from everybody. It's such a friendly, respectful club. Everybody shakes hands as they step onto the mat, and you're put at ease and you feel safe straight away. And there's no pressure to spar if you don't want to. It's just a friendly, encouraging atmosphere where, people of all levels, can just help each other learn. But yeah, that first day, I was so close to just going home and leaving it, because I was so anxious, and and you associate martial arts with a lot of tough guys throwing each other around, punching, kicking, and that, and yeah, it was completely the opposite. I was pleasantly surprised, and yeah, I'm so glad I got out of my car and made that first step,
Yeah, me too with that one as well, because like you say, you could have quite easily have turned the car around and not gone in for that moment there. But Steve, when you look back at that now, from where you were sat in the car going into that first lesson to where you are now coming back with a 10th gold medal, I mean, how do you reflect on just how much you've come along in that time?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's one of those moments, when if you'd have zigged when you should have zagged or something like that. How life would have turned out. But it was, it's incredible how far it's come, because I only got into it just to, for something else to do, because like I say, the injury sort of kept me away from all the heavy lifting and stuff, and I was just looking for something else, and I started competing quite early actually. I hadn't been training long there. It'd only been, a few months. And one of my classmates mentioned he was going to do a competition. And, I thought, why not? I was still relatively new at the time and only a few months in, but I decided to give it a go. And honestly, mate, it was such a humbling experience. I was getting dominated, and it made me realize my physical attributes, because I was still quite big and strong at the time. It could only take me so far. I had a lot to learn about jiu-jitsu, and that experience, I lost every match, and I'm a competitive guy. And that experience just it just lit a fire in me. I just wanted to improve and come back better. And I went back and really increased the amount of time I was putting in on the mat. I was doing loads of hours. I was doing lots of privates with Adrian and sort of really focusing on my weak points. And that's when I started to improve. I slowly started seeing a bit more success. And yeah, since then I've competed in many different tournaments and competitions. And just to be clear, these are amateur level events where I'm up against people in my own weight class and my own skill level. Because there's competitions I've done like the ADCC, British Open, and things like that where professionals compete in them. So I'm not saying I'm competing like with the Gordon Ryans of the world. I'm competing on an amateur level with guys my own weight and my own skill level, but it's competitive enough. And like I said, that first comp was so humbling. So yeah, to look back now to where I've come, it's just a testament to what Adrian teaches at Sanya and my classmates, and they've helped me along the way, and the sort of time I've dedicated to it. So yeah, I'm very proud, mate, of how it's all sort of come along.
Yeah, and so you should be as well with that as well, and how far you've come with that, Steve. It's an unbelievable story with it, and I was wondering, because obviously we know now that you've picked up your 10th goal coming back from the amateur events now as well, but what does the rest of the calendar look like for you? You got anything on the horizon this year we can look out for you on as well when you're in these tournaments?
Well, to be honest, mate, I've just been, I don't know whether it's something to do with turning 40 or what, but I'm getting to that stage now where I've got a bit of a niggling back injury at the minute, which has sort of kept me out. I've had a few problems with that, and I'm just trying to recover now, and I'm just starting to come out the other side. My aim is to get back into light training and build up from there. And as for competition, I'm not sure, like I say, maybe it's something that comes with being in my 40s now, but I'm finally feeling content. I don't feel like I need to prove anything to myself. I'm very proud of what I achieved, and I just want to help my teammates if they want to compete and be a good training partner, and just enjoy my jiu-jitsu for what it is, a great martial art. So normally I've got that bug. I need to go and compete again. I need to do this, but like in my 20s and 30s, but now I'm just content with just enjoying it. And after this latest injury, mate, I just want to get back on the mat. Being on the sidelines and injury jail, it hasn't been fun. So that's my main aim at the moment.
Absolutely, I can imagine that. Just finally, so if people want to get down and see Adrian and get to the jiu-jitsu themselves, maybe they've thought about it for a while but maybe not got into it, where can they go? How can they get involved? And what would you say to them?
Yeah, for sure. It's and like Adrian always says, the hardest part is getting your foot through the door. Like me, I could have quite easily driven off that day. And I'm sure this happens to lots of people when they try something new, not just martial arts, any martial art or any sport or hobby they're new to. But yeah, just coming out of your comfort zone and giving it a try. And I highly recommend Sanya Jiu-Jitsu. It's incredible. So Adrian's got a website online, so you just type in Sanya Jiu-Jitsu, and all the details come up there about classes and things like that, where we are, times. We're on Facebook. There's Instagram if you want to have a quick look through pictures and that, just to see what you might be getting yourself into. And like I said, it's safety's paramount with Adrian, and respect, and you're not forced to do anything you want to. I mean, I didn't spar for ages when I started. I just I was just drilling the basic lessons and just getting used to it, and like I say, it's the self-defense aspect that drew me to it. So it will just help with people's confidence, and it will do so much for their mental and physical health. So definitely give us a try.
That's Steve Wood there, giving us a bit of a catch-up on what it's been like for him in his new passion of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And a big thanks for him sharing his story with us this afternoon as well. This is Stevie Wonder, Sir Duke.